You are tuned in to Mr. Q Show. Get plugged in, yeah. You are tuned in to Mr. Q Show. Get plugged in, yeah. It's time to relax from all the hype and grab a cup of the favorite tea that you like. On Mondays and Wednesday nights, don't forget about the Black Business Spotlight. You never know who you might see. It could be anybody, even a celebrity. So enjoy yourself, my friends, cause this is Mr. Q Show. Now get plugged in. Yeah. You are tuned in. That's right. To Mr. Q Show. Get plugged in. You are tuned in to Mr. Q Show. Get plugged in, yeah. You are tuned in to Mr. Q Show. Hey everybody, this is Mr. Q, aka Quentin Samuels. Hey, listen, we have a show for you all tonight. Just kind of pardon what you see. Having a little technical difficulties with everything because I'm on a different platform tonight. So anyway, y'all, we have a great show tonight. We're going to talk about something that's needed to be talked about, but people don't often want to talk about it. And it's the black influences, black male influences in the black community. Black male influences in the black community. And it looks like I'm having some issues right now. Let's see if I can fix that. So anyway, black influences in the black community, and that's what we're going to speak on tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to, without further ado, introduce two young men to you that I've been knowing for a long time. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves, and we're going to get into this discussion. And so we have, first up, we have Mr. Chip Baker right there. Mr. Chip Baker, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm great, Q. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Then we got my boy, Mr. TK Ware. I ain't gonna say his nickname the way I know him. Yeah, y'all. How you doing, TK?
Man, we loving life.
Man, that's good. That's good, man. I'm excited to have y'all on the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I want you to share, like the video, share the video. We're on 5 different streamings, and I see y'all coming in right there. I'm starting to see. And if you have questions, if you have comments, whatever you may have, you can post your comments, you post your questions, and we'll be willing to answer them if we can. If we can't, we can probably find somebody who can. So anyway, first off, I'm going to let the man over here, I guess he to my right, to your left. I don't know how he is right now. Wait a minute. Let me see. Okay, he's to my left on here. Well, anyway, Mr. Chip Baker. Chip Baker. Tell him about yourself, Chip Baker.
Well, first off, Q, man, thanks so much for taking the time to allow me to be on your platform. It's like you said, you know, we've known each other for a long time, man. Grew up together. And so happy for all of the amazing things that you're doing. And so, you know, just to start, I just want to say thanks so much for the opportunity to be on with you, man. I rock with what you have wholeheartedly with everything I got, support you. And I'm excited to be on, man. But
appreciate it, man.
But myself, Chip Baker, I'm a 4th generation educator. You know, blessed and fortunate to be raised by some great people, as well as be around some awesome folks to learn from, you know, growing up and in my career. And this is my 22nd year in education, teacher, former coach. And I started the Success Chronicles a little over 4 years ago. And what I do is I just interview people from all walks of life, and I share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. And so that's a little bit about me and what I do.
Mr. TK, well, I do that all the time, y'all.
No problem.
Let us know who you are and let us know about yourself.
All right, my name is TK Ware. First of all, I just want to say, I want to just piggyback and say thank you for having me on. I watch what you're doing, and it's an honor to see not only black men, but men in general doing uplifting things to help not only the community, but for those at large, male and female. And I'm TK Ware. I'm a best-selling author of over 40 books. I founded Man Up conferences, which we had our first two couple of years ago before COVID hit. And it's empowerment conferences where the men are able to discuss things that you not necessarily can discuss in a church atmosphere, and where men don't feel intimidated, and we've had success with those things. And we also are developing another thing called Keep Going It's Not Over, which is symbolic to one of my latest creation, one of the latest books we released. And it's another empowering book, just about encouraging one another. I'm also the CEO of ICP Insightful Creation Publications, which we specialize in, I want to say, faith-based books. We don't do any vulgar language or anything of that sort. Everything is about uplifting and motivating. And I'm also an actor of a couple of movies that they were okay. And that's it.
You said the movie was okay. The movie's okay.
It's a different side of me. And like a lot of people don't understand that character I portrayed, that is not TK. It's simply the character I portrayed that was written in that script, and that is not who I am. So the language that I portrayed in that particular movie probably something no one ever heard me say before.
Gotcha.
So.
Hey, that happens in show business, man.
Yes.
That happens in show business. So y'all, everybody know who I am. This is Mr. Q's plugged in virtual show. And the reason I brought these two guys in, like I said, because I know them. I know the lifestyle. I know that they live the positive image that they speak about. Like I said, I mean, I didn't live with TK, but we hung out during the summers, the winters, Thanksgivings, for years. For oh my God, how many years have you been? How many years you?
Oh man.
How old are you now, man?
40. How old am I?
Oh Lord.
40. 42.
I was about
42.
to say we close around there.
Yeah,
Chip the oldest one. Chip the oldest
I
one.
don't know what you're talking about.
He got me by.
I don't
He
know
got
what
me.
you're talking
I
about.
think Chip, you just got me by a year, man. You know I had to get you. But like I said, we grew up together. And the reason I chose them because I've never seen them when we were kids do anything that, even when our parents told us, hey, don't do this, don't do that, we never did it. And if we did do it, we didn't do it around our parents. We didn't go out in the streets and embarrass our parents. We were taught not to embarrass your family. Don't embarrass your church. Don't forget your upbringing. And even though we may have done crazy things, the point is we never forgot our upbringing. And when we were little, we had men in the community that influenced us. We had men in church. When we went to camp meeting, there were men there that say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. When daddy wasn't around, they were daddy. When mama wasn't around, the women were mama, but that's a whole different subject. But nowadays we have an issue. And we have the lack of positive black influences, but black male influences. We have a lot of negative black influences, but we have black influences, which is our subject tonight. And it says black influences in the black community. So when you think about influences, what are the first influences you think about, Chip? Like the first influence?
I think like the first influences that I think about is family. I think of faith. I think of community. I think of those everything that plays a factor in your environment, and those are the things that come to mind and heart for me when you say that.
What about you, TK?
I would say the same thing, family, because everything starts with your family. Who you are or who you will become, you're
Yeah.
basically a product of your environment. And from there, you will either you will increase your faith, or you will allow your environment to smother your faith. So I would say in the same order, family, faith, and then those whom you dwell around, because you will become the company you keep.
And you know what? People don't believe that it starts at home. It literally starts at home. And you know, Chip working in the school system. You know, TK working around all the kids that we see all the time. You know, we can literally say if we see a child do a certain thing, if it's abnormal and if it's not child behavior, they learn that from somewhere. 90% of the time, they learn it from home. And people will argue with me and say, no, no, they didn't learn it from home because I know kids that change and they go to school and they do this and they go to school and they, notice I said normal behavior. The
Mm-hmm.
normal behavior is when, when we used to go to school 7th, 8th grade, we see them girls come to school, they have regular clothes on. Next thing you know, they didn't change. That's normal behavior. They didn't get that from their mama. That's just, I'm going to sneak and change in these pants. Normal behavior is when that little boy go to school and he want to sneak that one little cuss word out. That's normal. So people, oh, they got, I didn't teach him that. No, you didn't. That's normal behavior. It's already in your mind to be strategic. It's already. But if you got kids coming to school, talking about shooting up this and shooting up that and they smoking vapes in the 5th and 6th grade and they smoking cigarettes and weed and all this, they pick that up. And when we say from home, we're not necessarily meaning in that house, but home is when you're outside the school. Whether you're with your uncle at the basketball court or whether you're with your auntie or whatever. So I do you think they pick it up from home, or do you think it's just kind of like a, you know, what do y'all think? Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Man, I think the environment in which we are in is so uh, crucial. I think it's so critical, and I love the perspective by which you talked about the normal stuff and the stuff that's seen. And I agree. I think it just goes back to that environment, and man, it's so huge to make sure that you're surrounded by the right people doing the right things. I used to, and you can attest to this, Q, and how my mom was, because yours the same way.
Man,
Growing up, hey, no, you're not doing that. Hey, you're not hanging with those people. No, you're not going there. I used to think, man, this lady, man, she is just so hard on me. I wasn't a trouble kid, right?
no, you
Like,
wouldn't.
like man, this lady is tripping, right? you know, but it was just discipline. She knew how critical it was to be around the right people and in the right environments, because, like you said, what you see is what you pick up, and then you can also learn the things to do as well as the things what not to do in those environments as well.
Right. So what you think, TK?
I agree. And I'm gonna share this a little bit because as I was listening to you both, a incident. It's been a few years, but there was a young guy, and I know his upbringing, and I know his environment, and so I pulled up at the gas station. Young, he may have been about 16, 17, and he saw me, and he was already intoxicated, and I've grown beyond. I'm not judgmental because a lot of times when people venture out like that, they are shun away if you judge them because in their eyesight you act like you are perfect. So when I saw my wave and he broke down crying and walked over to me, put his arm around my neck and said, "TK, can I talk to you?" So we get in my truck and he began to just confess. And he lifted up his shirt and had a gun tucked down in his shirt. And I'm talking to him like, "What are you doing?" Because I know that he didn't grow up per se at home with that same element, but that was picked
Yeah,
up in his environment. And he began to break down and just crying. And he said, "Well, people are trying to kill me, so I'm going to kill them." And I began to talk to him about that mindset and the people that you are hanging around. And eventually, if I wanted to, he probably would have gave me the gun. And I'm thankful to say now that I've seen the same young guy and he's doing a whole lot better. but the environment he called himself, his friends, they had changed his whole demeanor. This was a, I'm not gonna say was or were, as if he's not, a church kid. Grew up in the church, a loving family, and he just got caught off around the wrong people and was willing to kill somebody. And it just so happened when he saw me, instead of me judging them, I embraced them, knowing that just because you're in this state, your environment may create you a certain form, but that doesn't mean you have to remain there. And we began to talk to him, and he kind of ventured off from that. But I'm glad you brought that up, because I had forgot all about this, and I know him by name. I had forgot all about this guy, and this happened not too long ago.
And you know what, man? That shows that he knew you and he trusted you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've had guys, and I think Chip could probably vouch for this, or you can too, cause you're in your 40s. I forgot you in your 40s. Um, if you've ever been, I went to a funeral one time, and it was a funeral of a young man who I think he was beat to death with a baseball bat. Because he was trying to, either he was starting to fight, or I don't know how the story went, but I remember playing for this funeral, and the young man, I was his juvenile detention officer when he was about 14, 13 or 14. And so I was at the funeral. I had to play, and I never forget it, y'all. I had on a blue bow tie, and no, I had on a blue suit, and the pastor, he had on a blue bow tie. But these guys were Bloods. And the pastor got up in the pulpit. He said, look, I understand y'all Bloods, but I'm covered by the blood. You just talking. And, he talked about, and they started laughing, of course. But this one guy that was sitting in the choir stand kept looking at me and he was looking at me like this. First thing I'm thinking, okay, little dude, I'm a little older now, but I can still throw the hand if I got to. I don't know why you looking at me like that, but if I got to, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to do it. But he stared at me for the longest, and when it was, when we sing that, I'll fly you away, oh, when they walking around the casket, he walks down, he pats me on the shoulder. He said, "Man, Mr. Samuels, I sure appreciate you." And he started crying. He said, that could have been me in that casket. And I looked back at him and I said, wow, everybody that was out there were in juvenile. Most of them had been in juvenile, and they knew me from the juvenile center, and they knew me from the school. So it was crazy, because I'm like, this is almost 20 years later. And this young man remembers when I told him, boy, get back in your room and stop trying to fight. And that's what I had told him. I remember him trying to fight. And we sat and talked one night. He was mad. He wanted to, I'm going to whoop you when I see you in the free. And that's all he was like 13. I was like, okay, little dude. But anyway, and as I saw it, I was like, man. And now it happens quite frequently. Now, even at the intermediate school, you have parents who were in juvenile, or they knew me some type of other way, and their kids are going to school, and you know what they tell their kids? You listen to Mr. Q, because he not going to lead you wrong. Listen to Mr. Q. And it makes me nervous when somebody say, listen to Mr. Baker. He not going to lead you wrong, and you like, oh, Lord. I'm going to do my best not to. Look, close your eyes when you see me walk across, But I will say this, that we had people like that. I can name people on both ends. In Hearn, we had people like Charles Workman. We had my daddy. We had your big daddy, Mr. Johnson.
McDaniel.
Yeah, Mr. McDaniel, man. Mr. Sewell. We had Cooter Brown.
Brown.
Who else? Mr. Moe. They were there.
Yeah.
And if we walking down the street, they saw us and they heard us say the wrong word, you cuss again here. You say that word again here. And guess what? We listen. In camp meeting, same thing. We had Bishop Tanner. We had Lindsay. I can name them for days. Brother Lovey, the one that sat up in the front. But here's the deal. We had those people but we respected them
Yeah.
because they showed us how to respect.
Hmm.
But now the problem we have is with the influences in the community, we have a lot of black male negative influences now, which trickles down to the little boys that we dealing with. I don't know if y'all seen these little boys. I don't know if y'all seen these little 12, 11, 12, and 13-year old. Well, you got boys, so you already know how they I think you got a baby, so you ain't got that yet. Bless your heart. You got a baby. You got the whole journey, but man, I just feel like um the influences in the community are more negative than positive. I don't know if y'all think I'm right. I mean, I feel like they're more negative than positive, and it's like we're winning. We're fighting a losing battle because you're constantly going places. Chip talking, you're talking, you're speaking, you're speaking, you're talking. You know, TK, you having these events. We constantly talking, but outside, as soon as those little boys get outside that building, you got that cat cross street. Say, little Mike, hey, come here, man, fool. You know what I mean? He using the N word first of
Hmm.
all. You know what I'm saying? They teaching them that little girls are B's and H's. You know, first, and they got more of an influence on the community than we do.
Hmm.
So my question is, why do y'all think that is? I mean, why is it?
Man, I think just going off of, because I can only speak on my personal experience. Based from personal experience, I can tell you this. So, my mother's side of the family, was from Hearn, a
Yeah.
smaller town. My father's side of the family is from Dallas, South Dallas, and so I've seen all of those worlds that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so I've experienced all of that, and I think that for me, I don't think that it's a new thing. Like I think it's always been a deal where there has been negative and there has been positive, right? And it's just a matter of placing the child in the proper environment and giving them the wisdom, the firm foundation, if you will, to
Mm-hmm.
teach them what's the difference between right and what's wrong. And then from there, they have to have their own um, firsthand experience with life and make sure they revert back to those that home training, what mom and them taught you, you know. And so, I've kind of seen, I can honestly say that growing up, I have seen, both, positive and negative. But I would agree with you, Q, on the fact that where we grew up, it was a lot of positive men. I mean, lots of, and not just men, but positive people, educators, community folks that just love kids, made sure you stayed right. If they saw you not doing what you're supposed to do, they get on your butt,
Man,
like all of those things. And so that's kind of been my experience.
what you think about it, TK? I mean, what
My
do you think?
experience would be, I would say it would be a gray area in between, because I've dealt with a lot of individuals. I've talked to a lot of young people, and for the most part, they cling toward, and I hate to say it, they cling toward negativity because in their mindset they're trying to fit in. But then that
Mm.
stems all the way from home. Why are you trying to fit in? What it is about this group of people that make you feel as if without them you're not who you're supposed to be. So we have an identity crisis in the midst of a lot of them. But men especially are too proud to say I don't know who I am. So a lot of boys are walking around trying to be something they're not. And you got
Mhm.
these robbings, and then you got these killings, and something happened recently over in our area. So you got a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of violence happening, and no one have found who they are. And so on the flip side, in other communities, then you have those that are influenced and they see positive role models. So it's whatever that individual is experiencing or around, then it will create, it will fashion them into who or what they are. Personal, from a personal standpoint, I had a little mixture of both. I had that relative who stayed out there doing all kind of things, but
Yeah.
I understood and knew, okay, I'm not gonna do that. that's not right for me to do. But then I had the other one that was always positive. So I was tossed in between, and I'll be lying if I said I walked this squeaky clean life. But I've learned through experiences, and some of those experiences could have been avoided if there was a positive role model. And so a lot of young people, a lot of black men fail, or they haven't grown to be comfortable with a man, because I'm gonna say this. I remember this one conversation I was having with a guy, and he was going through something.
Mm-hmm.
And as he was trying to talk, I could tell he was getting angry because he didn't know how to express himself. Because so a lot of men feel as if I express myself, I'm less than a man. You know,
Right.
if I show a tear, I'm less of a man. And that and their mindset, I'm no punk, you know, per se. And as we began to talk to him, and once I gave him the green light, look here, I have did this, I understand. So then that armor that most men carry around, especially young boys, trying to fit in, trying to be something they're not, it'll crumble. But a lot of it is because of the environment. And you take a child out of the projects per se and place him in the city atmosphere, he'll lose his mind and he'll go back to what he's accustomed to. And it's because a lot of them have not interacted enough to explore the depths of themselves, to know it's okay to be this, it's okay to be that. You don't have to be like this person. You don't have to covet what this person have. So a lot of it stems to the environment and the mindset of pride.
And then you know what? I had a guy tell me, and I wish I thought about bringing him in tonight, but like I said, if y'all, I know y'all see me glitching over there, like I'm from y'all see me over there glitching like I'm from Mars or something. And I think it's just you don't see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I think it's more so this computer. It's old,
Okay.
but I might plug my camera. But anyway, he told me, he said, Q, if you realize, he's a principal, you know, Mr. Smith, Justin Smith, and he made me notice something. He said, what happens is the positive black men now, what they do is, when they're successful, they move from their neighborhood. They're not lying, because guess what? I hadn't lived in Hearn in years, but I still go back. You know, Chip, he worked down there. We still go back. But you have some that move and they never look back. Look, that's not their problem. You know, they don't deal with it. But then what happens is, here's little Bo Bean coming up the street, riding down. See, because I was about to say some real nicknames, but Bo Bean coming up the street, you know, riding, you know, dripping paint, dripping candy on the cars, you know, slipping and sliding, gliding, you know, on 4 fours, you know, 84s and Vogues, you know, peanut butter inside, you know, drop top, pop trunk. Y'all know we know. But they rolling in that. And what the little boy see, that's what I want. You know, that's what I want. He don't have any other influence. So that's what I want. So how do I get that? And then, you know, they hip them to the game. They put them to the streets. They give them the game. They give them the spiel. And once they realize, hey, man, all they want is a pair of Jordans. You know, that's all they want. A pair of Jordans and a nice phone. That's it. And that's what's crazy. A lot of these young boys, all they talk about is Jordans. I told a kid one time, I said, hey, man, look. I say, if I give you $500, what would you do with it? Oh, man, I'm going to buy me some kicks, fool. I said, so you going to spend $500 on some shoes? And yeah, man, that's what it's about, man. You know, they talking to me, and I'm like, then when they buy the shoes, I don't know if you ever seen them. They walk in the hallway, they buy shoes that's too big. They're spending more time on not creasing their shoes.
Yeah.
Than they are paying attention in class. They learning this stuff from the other men that they see in the community. You know, you got men our age walking around with their pants down on their knees, Chip. They still doing it. And some of them still got braids in their head, and the braids start back here in the back of the cranium. I'm being for real.
Hey, you preaching now. Come on.
So it's like 45 years old, riding down the street, boom, 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 ah, you know what I'm saying? The stuff matter of fact, what's crazy, these are the same guys that were doing it when we were kids. And they never change. Because guess what? They've been they're like a role model in the community. And I can't figure it out to save my life. And like y'all said, I don't know if it's a psychological thing. Well, I do know we're born sinners, but hey, goodness gracious,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I
But my
think I
thing is,
think you I think you, man, just kind of just touching on all of that, it's great to hear, everybody's perspective. I think that, I'm a simple guy, I'm a formula guy, right? And everything I simplify, I have, systems for everything to help me move more efficiently and effectively. And I think that we are the sum total of our environment, our experiences, our relationships, and our actions, right? And we've hit on the environment, piece, already, talking about an environment. I think within your environment, there's some experiences that you have to have. What do I see? What do I want from what I see? How do I create an action plan to get what I want from what I see, right? And so, within that, you have to have some key relationships, people around you, like we're talking about, to tell you, hey, all of that flashy stuff that you see, that's not what's most important.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, it's nice and all, but you have to have a firm foundation in the things that's important and don't get lost in all that other, right? Because all the other ain't important, right? And
got
so you have to have somebody that has a relationship with you to tell you that, so you can be like, oh, okay, and then from there, you add in your actions. Do I take the education route? Do I choose to see my cousin or my brother, for that matter, in prison while I'm a young kid? Do I decide, hey, I don't want that life, and take the actions to not do that? And so, we're the sum total of our environment, our experiences, our relationships, and our actions, man. I believe that.
I
yeah,
agree. I agree with that because every experience we've encountered has fashioned us and has created some type of influence on our life.
Yes.
Um, Another example I remember, because and what I also learned is that before people hear you, they watch you. And
Come
so
on.
exactly.
everything that you
Come on.
push out, forget about what you say, the lifestyle you push out, it will make an impact. This one particular individual was upset with me, and Q, hey, I don't get upset with no one. Hey,
Nah,
you
you
can
don't,
approach
man.
me, and
Right.
it was told to me this individual was upset with me because I didn't go and reach out to her son, who was young, got involved with some bad experiences, found themselves behind bars, and she had held me responsible, which I didn't even know it was my responsibility in that notion. And eventually we end up communicating. And I end up talking to the guy. And what a lot of parents, especially women, fail to understand is that if I present you with something, it is your choice, because we cannot make no anyone to do anything. But if I present you with something, you can choose to follow this path. And so when I began to talk to the young guy and I began to communicate with him and his environment, once again, his environment, because based on the fervorness and based on the pleas from his mother, it was his environment that had created a need to fit in. And that need to fit in caused him to go out and do those things which would render you behind bars. And so it kind of dawned on me and hurt me a little bit more. And so I had to question myself to make sure that there's a lot of men, little boys crying out, but don't know how to cry. And so they put on this demeanor, and I interacted with these guys in church. Hey, how you doing? How you everything all right? Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And that becomes just a fashion. Yes, sir, yes, sir. It becomes
Yeah.
rudimentary. They really doing terrible, but they so almost like programmed, yes, sir, because they don't want nobody to get in their business. So then they
Yeah.
leave that church environment and create all types of hell and hockey stick at home, and then they venture out and find themselves getting into a situation when a lot of it can be erased or eliminated if the parents try to find those positive influences, because there's a lot of bad people out there doing bad things, but we can't go knock on every door and say, is your child is okay, is your child okay? But when you can find someone who is doing positive, it's critical to speak to them, at least from a perspective of help. And this just happened again. What's the day? Took a couple of days ago, and I began to talk to the young guy, and he broke down crying. And this boy is 13 years old. He broke down crying because he had hatred in his heart for
And
particular family members.
and you know what? And you know what I'd say? It's you're right. And you know, I don't think I was Chip, I don't know if you was taught this, but I don't really think I never heard my dad to say, boys don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
But I never saw him cry, but he never said it. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of these boys now, you better stop crying, boys don't cry. You better stop crying. And that's what they teach them. Okay? So my thing is they hold this. Man, you ever seen a little boy walk around like this? I knew a boy,
Mm-hmm.
man, he had a look on his face. You didn't even know what to speak. I mean, this boy was young. You didn't know whether to speak to him or run from him, or you didn't know what this man was thinking. He I remember his face, man. He was sitting in the back of the car one day. I was coming out the store. And I seen him at the school one day, and he was walking in the hallway, and he was like, "What's up, man? What's up, Mr. Q?" But his face was still frowning. And I said, that ain't normal. Something had to have set his face that way for
Mm-hmm.
that many years. Like, it's just and you know what I found out? I found out that this little boy was always bullied. Not at school,
Mm-hmm.
at
Mm-hmm.
home.
Yes.
He was bullied at home. So that face was almost like a porcupine. Or what is that poisonous frog? Almost like that. That was his defense mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was a big boy. So if he frowned like this, you like, man, that's a big old dude. Why he frowning? Big dudes ain't got a frown. We big guy, we ain't got a frown. I be walking around like this. You know, but it was like I ain't seen too many big guys just frowning. And I talked to him one day and I said, hey man, what's going on, man? Man, Mr. Q, man, people be tripping. Spanish guy. People be tripping, he going on and on. And guess what? The whole time I was there at the school, I got pictures of him on Facebook when he graduated. This boy, he was bullied to the point to where he was so smart. He didn't want nobody to know he was smart. He didn't want his parents to know he was smart at home, because if he did his homework, he would get talked bad to by his uncles and stuff, because they were gang members. And he was a gang member. He didn't want to be a gang member, but he was a gang member. And he knew the ropes. He knew the game. I'm talking about, Chip. A fight would break out in the school. And I was like, who started the fight? He just slowly walked by, never said a word. He would stand in the by the cafeteria, just stand there. You watch these boys flock around him. He never said a word. I remember one day, somebody had stole an iPad out of the office, and they stole the iPad out the office, and they assumed that he did it, right? So I went to him and I said, hey, they think you stole the iPad out the office, man. Hey, man, you might want to, whatever, bring it back. If you got it. He said, Mr. Q, I promise you, man, I wouldn't do y'all like that, but I know who got it. And the next day he came back and he had the iPad, Chip. And I say, well, what happened? He showed me a video, y'all. I never forget it. He showed me a video of him fighting this dude. And I said, why you showing me that? Well, Mr. Q, I told him he took the iPad. But I told him, if he can whoop me, I'll tell you that I took the iPad. He went, and that's what he knew. He went and fought this boy, and the boy he was a boxer. And the boy went and fought this boy, beat him down, and brought the iPad back to the school. And like I say, long story short, as the years went on, 11th grade, when he got to the 12th grade, he kind of simmered down. And like the teachers was like, what? He got calm and all that. And I didn't realize the whole time, him coming to school every day, seeing me in the hallway when I wasn't at work. Mr. Q, where were you at, man? I was looking for
Yeah.
you at lunch,
Yeah.
So then this boy graduated. I got a picture of him. I'm gonna see if I can find it. He graduated, and once he graduated, he became a supervisor or one of the workers at Kenmore Cabinets. Probably one of the greatest carpenters you ever seen, Chip. Matter of fact, he was so good that he won the Skill USA, but he didn't want to put the trophy up at the school. I put it in front of the office. Man, don't do that, Mr. Q. Man, people congratulating him. They was giving
Yeah.
him gifts. He wasn't used to that type of
Right.
influence,
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, I think it's almost like you say, you have to. It's like chipping away at it, man. You got to chip. They got so much in them. It's years of buildup, and you have to constantly chip. You chip, and people think it happens overnight. Man, it may take 20, 30 years, like I was talking about those other guys, to
Man.
to I guess to 20, 30 years to correct what had been wrong. The influences.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we all need that non-judgmental, non-biased, safe zone, learning space, course correction in our life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can look, yes, that can be kids, but really we all need that, because none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, and just like
Yes.
TK said, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I've always been perfect. I've always done
Right.
that. I
Right.
can't tell you that, but what I can tell you is that I've learned, and from the things that I've made mistakes on, and I've strived not to do those things again. And the reason I've done that is because I've had some really positive influences around me in my life, that I've just strived to make them happy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, one thing that I'm really passionate about, and I see this in you, TK, like, we don't know each other, but I see this in you based off of what we do. And Q, I know you do this, like you go above and beyond. You've always done that, to help. That's why when you have kids that are striving, or people that are
Mm-hmm.
striving to do things the right way, you have to go above and beyond to help, show, and support,
Yes.
because they can be choosing to not do that. I can recall, when I was coaching at Conroe High School, we had a special group of kids on in track, and I didn't miss one track meet. And I wasn't a track coach; I coached powerlifting, right? I did not miss one track meet their junior year. I did not miss one track meet their senior year, because I wanted them to know that, man, I'm here. Like you can count on it. Like I'm here. Like I had to pay for me a hotel room when they was out, different places, state meet, all of that. I'm here to support you.
Right.
And those kids, they got second place in the 4x4 their junior year in state by that far, and their senior year they got first place. And every one of those kids that was on that relay, to this day, I still talk to them and communicate. Like we're in a group text together, and so like those kind of things, it's important to, man, be around that. It's important to have that. And if you don't have it, if there's kids around you that don't have it, please put them around it, because
Yes.
I promise you it will change their life. And I'm a true testament of that. I had a great mother.
Yes, you did.
I had
Yeah.
an amazing mother that was a disciplinarian.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
but even still, I still needed the Mr. McDaniel, the Jimmy Reader, the list goes on and on. Billy Ray McDaniel, the Coach Dawson, the list goes on. I still needed those positive people influences in my life, right? Which helped me make better decisions. And so I think you can't get enough of
Can't.
positive. You can't get enough of that.
You can't. Even at our age, like you said, even at our age, man, I tell you, man, I think we done all been through some stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I think TK remember when I
Hmm.
disappeared for about 10 years from Alabama.
Hmm.
I hush up, man. But um, we learn, we do stuff, and but I still say, even through all of that stuff, you still have that upbringing, and not
Hmm.
so much just a positive upbringing. We all had spiritual upbringing.
Mm.
I sit up and beg Chip to let me play the drums. Man,
Yeah.
he gets so
I knew that
man.
was coming.
Hey, we
I
would do
knew
them
that
little
story was
workshops,
coming.
TK, because his mama was a choir director. We get up in them workshops, TK. I be trying to get the drums and Chip. He playing, sweating. Wouldn't let me, man. I'm like, come on, man, But we grew up like that, and I remember my mama, his mama, having prayer meeting that night. She called my mama.
Hmm.
My mama come walking up. Mama, where we going? We going over Chips. I used to be happy to go over Chips because I used to like to play with his toys. He used to get mad at me when I take the toy. And but
I
but
knew that
yeah,
was
man.
coming too, TK.
Yeah, yeah. What you say, Chip?
I knew that story was coming too.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. But like I say, like you say, we all have in common. We all had that mutual individual that we knew. We knew in camp meeting, TK. You knew him too, Chip. We knew if Bishop Tender came out that temple and saw us walking around that temple, we had to get right. Bishop Sam Smith, Pastor Terry Smith, those the ones they got on us. It wasn't the other guys. The other one, the deacons got on them, but the preachers always got. I always ran into one of the preachers or bishops or something. They talking about go back to the trailer. It's too late for you to be, and you know. But like I said, we had those people, and then you can think about even when I started coming to Bryan doing the NYSP, we still had them. Chip,
Yeah.
Mr.
Yep.
Sterling,
Hmm.
uh, Mr. Kenny,
Yep. Yep.
uh,
Yep.
Mr. Sonette. So you, like you say, forever in your life, if people will understand, forever in your life, you're always gonna have someone to try to help you. It's up to them if they want to be helped or not.
Yes.
But I tell people at a certain age, once a child gets about 13 or 14, that's that chip away age. So you let them get too far. If you let them
Yeah,
get
yeah.
Yeah, if you let them get 11, 12, 13, and they talking back and doing what throwing gang signs and all this different stuff, it takes a lot for you can reach them, but it takes a whole lot to reach them. It takes a whole lot to reach them. And like I say, like y'all say, we wasn't perfect, but the Bible say you train up a child in the way he's go. When he grow older, he won't depart. So we knew better. Y'all probably like me. Y'all did something wrong, and then your conscience just beat you up when you did it.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
you knew you can hear your
Hmm.
mama saying, "Look, boy, I told you not to do that," or your dad is saying, "Do it again, do it again." Or that male figure in.
Hmm.
I think Q. That's why it's important, man, to really understand. Like when we're in the position that we're in, to where we're able to be around youth all the time, or even not so around youth all the time, but everybody's going to cross paths, with young adult, young kids.
Right.
So I think that's why it's important to know that, man, you can make a difference. That's why it's important to know that the way you carry yourself and your actions
Yes.
make a positive difference. And that's why it's important to go above and beyond to mentor. I mean, something as simple as speaking and acknowledging, like you gave the example, Q, of the guy, you really didn't do much. You just doing your thing. You just spoke to the kid every day. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's it.
But that right there makes a difference. Giving a kid a smile every day
Hmm.
can change the world of a kid that don't get a smile at home.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? You may be the only touch of heaven that kid sees ever in his life, right? Because when he leave you or from the school or whatever,
He got
it's
to go
pure
back.
hell,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then the flip side of that, Q, and you know this, in dealing working with kids, and this is one thing I learned as a young guy. Like, when you're working with kids that live in hell, Like you can't scare them with the devil. They see the
Oh,
devil all the time.
man,
You know what I'm
please.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Like every day, like bro, they pass the devil walking to school. You know what I'm saying? They throwing the deuce. What's up, devil? You know, but you can't scare them with the devil.
Right.
No.
What you have to do is you have to be real open and authentic with giving them that light in your heaven, right? That may be the only God they see ever. And like you said, I love how you said the chip away. Being consistent with being that bright light, being consistent with showing them that, hey, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm growing through what I'm going through myself. But guess what? I'm here. I'm giving you this smile. You're going to get this positive inspiration and
You gonna
motivation
get
every
it.
day. Okay.
And
You
that's
can
another
bank on
thing.
that.
And
You
that's
know?
another thing you right. That's when we were kids. I know y'all then grew up and found out something about somebody that was older than us, and you was like, "What?"
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
never told us that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when they're around us, they always help in stature,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
But now times are different. We can't do that because I find myself all the time when I'm talking to these. Now, the intermediate kids, they're a little different. I mean, I could tell them, I'm gonna give you some candy tomorrow if you be good.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, some of them. But the high school kids, I would find myself talking to them, and I say, "Hey, man, you know, I had a guy one time. He got sent to DAEP. Man, they sent me to DAP. I said, well, at least they didn't kick you out of school. He said, what you mean? I said, I got kicked out of school. I said, forever. He said, what? You probably didn't even know that. I
No.
got I got kicked out of school forever. Well, he said, why? I said, well, because I let my anger get the best of me and I took a weapon to school. And the superintendent found out and we had a nice little meeting. And Mrs. Lamb said, you can't, go to school like that because you're a danger to the kids around you. There was no DAP, there was ISS, but they said that offense was so bad that I didn't even use it. I just had it in my bag and it displayed on my mama's bus. And I got beat down, but it displayed on my mama's bus. I was older. I was 17 at the time. And I had to pay 300. Matter of fact, your mom is the one that told me where to do it. And I had to
Mm.
pay $375 of my check money to go to Texas A&M to take an exit exam to get my diploma.
Yeah.
I had to, and like I said, Chip surprised. He didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Hey,
told
and my mom was a part of the story.
exactly.
And I didn't even know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
see, I told him, but y'all know when I told him that, when I told him that, guess what? It made him. You can feel the ease. He was like, "Oh man, Mr. Q, you mean you got in trouble before?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once they see that, yes, man, I done got in. But here's the difference with us and the
Yes.
influences on the street, the negative influence. They brag about the getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I told them I wasn't proud of that, man. I said I've done a lot of stuff I was not proud of. I said, and then I told him, I said, we didn't have social media. This boy got, y'all, I'll tell y'all what the boy did. He was smoking and they put it on Snapchat. It was during lunchtime. He's supposed to be in school, but they were
Mm.
out in the woods. And somebody put it on Snapchat at the same time. They were out in the woods, and that's how he got caught. And I told him, I said, the thing with you is you put it on Facebook. I mean, you put it on Snapchat, and you got caught. I said, so now you got to suffer the consequences. I said, but here's the deal. When you're over there, think about what you can do to be better. You know, think, and when you tell these young men that, they may look at you like, man, like you may think they're not listening, but you know what I found out, TK? They are listening.
Yes.
They don't want you to see them break down, but I watched the guy one time. I talked to
Mm-hmm.
him so long, man. I saw that
Me
little
too.
tear come out the corner, and I was like, I left him alone. Because what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to make him feel soft. But I left him alone, and you know what he did? He gave me a big old hug and walked
Right.
off. I'm talking about a 12th grader. but at home they're not getting that. They're not getting that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough thing, and people like us, we try to correct it. We have these conferences, we have these seminars, we have the man up, we have he'll be back. I think it's Chip. You all right?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Okay, he coming back. He'll be back. But we have all these conferences and everything. But here's the deal: once the conference is over, what do you do?
Yeah.
Miss Sandra said what she say. Young people need to hear that we made mistakes too, so they know
Hmm.
that we're not perfect, and they can be told something in life. Just yeah, mm-hmm,
I
yep,
agree. I mean, I think a lot of times, sometimes, uh, all they know is, okay, in order for me to be a teacher, I have to have some type of degree, and
mm-hmm,
I, have gone to school, um, to be an educator, and I've been around some people that are highly educated, but what they don't know is, you know, like, bro, I grew up just like you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The same stuff that you're going through and seeing, I've seen the same things and made the same mistakes, and I'm so grateful that I've learned from it. And that's why I'm here to help you and guide you. So use me as a resource. Like, I'm here for you, right? And not to say you're wrong or whatever. Like, I'm here, man. Enjoy life, man. Like
exactly.
enjoy life. Do your thing. I want you to have a blast, because you're only gonna be, for example, in high school for 4 years, and once it's over, it's over. And you're gonna want to come back. You start paying them
Yeah,
bills. you know.
I've had guys tell me, man, Mr. Q, man, I sure wish I could go back to school, man. I sure wish I could go back to high school, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like, yeah, man. You remember Mr. Q? Remember when you told me? And that's the first thing. It's like all one word, Chip. Remember when you told me? Remember when I don't even know how to spell that, but that's what they say. That's what they say. And listen, when they say it, I'm like, I remember when I told you. Yes, I do. I remember when I told you. Yes, I do remember. You
uh,
know. So and like I say, it's amazing to even know that you have that when you have that gift of influence to help someone, you use it. You use it to
yeah.
your advantage, and you
Yeah.
use it as much as you can. That's one thing I tell people. I tell people, don't take advantage of people, but take advantage of every opportunity that you get, because you, like you say, you never know where this boy is going when he go home. You never know uh,
Mm,
who he has to deal with when he goes home. Man, look, let me tell you, when you see these boys come to school and they cussing and all this stuff,
mm,
somebody said, amen. I use my life as an example from welfare, being single father, 600 pounds. I also encourage my kids to go to
yes.
school because I did. That's Mr. Ollie McDade. Yes, sir. I remember. Hey, I remember Ollie McDade as well. I
Yeah.
remember Ollie McDade. But Chip, Ollie, people are embarrassed to talk about that. It's an embarrassment. Even when we were kids, they wouldn't tell you the downfall. That was embarrassing. That was so embarrassing, man. And like I say, it's like if more people would tune into this conversation, we can get people to pull their heads together and figure out. Can you imagine? You got how many friends, Chip, on your page? 4,000, 5,000,
Yeah, just a couple, man.
and I got a couple. If
Yeah.
everybody that was on your page, at least half of them, that's 2,000 people. If
Hmm.
everybody that was on your page could listen to this conversation and pull together and come up with ideas to say, hey, this is what we can do. I know, I tell people, I know what I can do, but we can't do it by ourselves. We know, and I just told you, you got to chip away. And you know how many kids there are with these issues that have been raised up with bad influences, negative influences, and they want to. These kids want to go to jail. They want to hang out at the pen. They want to go to the pen. They want to get these stars and stripes, as they call it. And I'm like, man, what is going on? So, I mean, there he is. welcome back. So so yeah,
Technical difficulty.
yeah, you in the country, ain't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
per
know it.
se.
I know it. You got to put that. You ain't got that 5G tower on top of that tree. Oh, that's another subject. Anyway, but he says God says we must show ourselves an example. Remember the song? Yeah, yeah. We had a young man, TK. We were just talking about how we use our personal experiences, and we had a young man that I knew personally. He made this post, and he talked about how he told the kids, him living on welfare and being a single father. He was up to 600 pounds. Um, and he encouraged, and I know his son, and his son Chip, his son is very intelligent. Like that young man, that
Mm-hmm.
his son is very intelligent, and that shows you that sometimes you gotta sit. That's like we got what you got a daughter though, right, TK?
Yeah, five
You got a
month old.
daughter. Oh, bless your heart. You got a long way to go. Um,
Mm.
oh, you still got to hit terrible twos. Your baby ain't even sleeping yet night yet. But
No,
Chip has a son, and you see every bit of you in your son, and it's like you already can predict 9 times out of 10 the stuff that he's gonna do
Mm.
because you did it. And like me, I got 3 sons, and the two older ones, my oldest boy, I can look at him right now and tell you probably what he's gonna do tomorrow. He's 20, 21. So I'm like, I already know. I expect it. They say he did this. That ain't surprising. I did that. My
Mm-hmm.
EJ, my other boy, shoot, man, it's like they took my personality and broke it in two. My oldest boy, he got that rough side, the one that Chip's mama used to have to run to the tell me to come away from the basketball court all the time when y'all stayed on, was it Brinken?
Breaking.
The other boy, he got that other one. That's the one that really never went anywhere, and he was always thinking, being strategic. And like I can see both of them and understand. And that's why I tell the kids, I'm like, I know what you about to do. I got sons. I know what you about to do, and I know how to talk to you. But the problem is everybody don't know how to talk to our black boys.
right.
They really don't. Chip, I know you've walked up on some teachers. Hey TK, I know you done walked up on some people that
Yeah, yeah.
really didn't. Hey, they think they can learn it in a book. A lot of people do not know how to talk to our young black boys, and that's where the problem is, and that's when you get yourself in trouble. You
Yeah, I
know,
think you get what you give. It all starts with the respect thing.
yeah,
You know, if you're giving off a harsh, I'm better than you demeanor, well, I mean, you're gonna receive that back. And most times, when you give a non-judgmental, I'm here to help you learn demeanor, probably 95 to 99% of the time, you're gonna get open-minded, open-hearted, and they're gonna listen. You know.
Mr. Ali said a lot of people don't. Yeah, they don't know how to talk to youth. Period. Uh, I mean, I could think of some instances, but some of my people might be watching, so I won't bring that up. But I've literally seen instances where I've had to step in and say, "Hey, man, come here. Let me talk to you for a second." You know, I've watched kids get dug into like automatically. And, hey, man, come here. Let me talk to you for a second. And what's going on? I ain't get no sleep last night. Okay. Well, the reason that you want to know why I didn't get no sleep, Mr. Q, and then
Here it
there
comes.
go there go the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And TK, that's crazy, cause like I didn't get no sleep, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't get no sleep, and I trust you because you Mr. Q, and I know you're not gonna tell nobody. But then you get to that point to where some is a thin line, and I gotta go to the counselor and say, hey, my
Sure.
ears are closed. I need you.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, Dr. E said approach is everything. Children can see straight. Yeah, yeah, man. Hey,
After
my
E.
wife, you see Dr. E?
Hey, hey.
Yeah. My wife told me, Chip, she told me some years ago, she said, children are like puppies or pit
Yes.
bulls. A pit bull can see you walk by the house. And TK, if you scared of that dog, you might as well go and take off running right then. Cause
Yeah. Yeah.
big boy gonna hop that fence and you out of there. But if that pit bull looking in your eyes and he like, hey, my grandpa, he wasn't scared of no dogs. Dogs ran from him. They tucked their tails and ran under the houses and everything. Cause my pawpaw, he was short in stature, but he carried a demeanor like, I'm not scared of you. And when you're approaching a child, now I shouldn't say approach because now it sounds like I'm talking about a dog. When you about to,
Interacting.
yeah, interacting. Thank you. I
There
didn't
you
want to
go.
say he said approach. He calling the kids dogs. Uh, but when you're interacting with a child, you have hush TK. You have to be able to meet them where they are. Yeah, and I find myself sitting down in the hallway on the floor talking to
Man,
kids.
whatever it takes.
Yeah, yeah, you got to, man, cause and that shows them Mr. Q. He's 6'2", but he ain't too big to sit down on this floor and talk to me if I need him to talk. And you know what happens after that? They will come to you every day, especially as intermediate kid. Mr. Q, can I tell you something? Mr. Q, get the voice so squeaky. Big old boys, voice just squeaky because they about 10 years old, 11 years old. And after they, got their relationship, that's basically what it is. You got to build that relationship, in order to get these kids to a positive aspect. My wife said, yeah, there it is. She said, I meant that kids can sense when you're scared, intimidated by them, and they will use it. Ah, there it is. They will use it to their advantage. And those are the kids you were talking about, Chip, when you go screaming and yelling, but you screaming and yelling because you scared of the kid.
Yeah.
So you figure, I can yell at this kid and this kid gonna listen to me. Look, now you gonna yell at that kid gonna yell back, and if you don't watch, they gonna swell up. Cause that's what they know.
And I think another component to that, Q, is it's good when we can be in a situation where we can be consistency in the kids' life as well.
Mm-hmm.
They read through BS like they know, and so if you can give them, genuine, authentic consistency, being real of who
Yes.
you are, they see that, and he real, real recognize real, and so I think that's always a great trait to have as well. I'm not trying to see, be somebody outside of Chip Baker. I'm just trying to be Chip.
That's it.
That's it, right?
And I think that's the problem. What you think, TK? I think a lot of people. Oh, if you have a gift to talk, like you just said, you talk to the young man in the beginning of a show. You
At the
talk to the
gas
young
station.
man. Yeah, everybody can't do that. Everybody can't be TK. Cause you hear how TK talk. You hear how you talk, Chip. I don't talk like that. I'm
No.
loud. You know,
Yeah.
I'm loud.
But that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So why would I be sitting up there talking about, sometimes, everybody got a little story. Everybody find a way to fly, but no matter what you got, if it's not a lot, so what? They have theirs, you have yours, and I have mine, and together we'll be fine. Cause it take different strokes to move. That ain't me. I'm
No.
like this. Hey man, what's going on with you, man? Hey, tell me what's going on, man. Sit down and talk to me for a second. That's me. You know. So like you say, everybody, like you can't come and talk like me, because if you talking like me, Chip, I'm like, what's wrong with Chip? Why
Yeah,
his
that is
voice?
different. Who
You
is
know?
that guy?
What's
Where did
wrong
he
with
come
him?
from? And send him back.
Why TK so loud
Mm-hmm.
today? He don't even fit TK. Why he so loud? You know.
Mm-hmm.
But who's this say? Miss he say we need to clone you guys to place you all in the schools. We need strong black men. And you know what? She said something that make a lot of sense. We don't have enough black male
No.
influences in the school.
No.
We
I
don't.
agree, y'all. I agree. There's more. I mean, I'll make sure. Is my voice chopping up? Because I'm trying
No,
something
you
different.
good.
Okay. Now around in this environment, around this community, I've been to the schools, and there's a group of positive influences, but a group of five is only can only amount to so much. And what I've learned with a lot of these young people is until they know you care, they don't want to hear a word you got to say. And so
Period.
I've adapted their lingo just to get an entrance. So and some kids or some young guys, I can walk up and say, "Hey, little man, hey, what's up?" Even though that ain't how I always approach him, and he opened up instead of me saying, "Young man, young fella, what are you doing?" And because then they go into a defense mechanism. But I've
Right.
found and I've learned, and this just come from just adapting to your environment. The moment you can, the moment that child or that young boy know that, okay, you genuinely care. Now we all can sit there and preach the Bible at them. Listen, that ain't gonna make them. They're gonna drive them further away, and they're not gonna open up to you. And a lot of them will say, "Well, I hear this all day, 24/7. I'm not in church 24/7. I'm dealing with life." And so there's a balance. And I try to communicate with some of my fellow brothers, that yes, we are the church. Yes, that is not what I'm saying. Yes, 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 yes. But you're not in church 24/7. So these kids are dealing with everything is spiritually motivated. I understand that, but these kids are dealing with things that takes you understanding. And
You're
if
right.
I can come to your level and talk to you, then once that child opens up, you can present the seed of the gospel in there, but you got to find a common ground to where you can approach that child. And I've found that in my courses, even with my little conference that I did, where the whole concept is scripture, biblical. So it's called Man Up Empowerment. And so I remember some of the speakers I had. Q, you know Prophet Kelly. He was one of the
Oh
He was
yeah,
one of the speakers,
I
and I
need to
had
get
your
him on the
brother
show.
Daryl, one of them, and a couple other ministers. Before they got up, I got up and I talked to them. Now, I can talk to you and tell you what the Bible says without talking to you saying the Bible says, because then you make it more practical. And so I was able to just talk to them and to find out where they are. And then once I was able to capture their attention, and then me and the young guy was talking. He was like, "Man, people just don't understand, and people just don't understand, and I'm trying to." And I had to ask him something. Let me ask you one question. Why do you feel as if people don't understand? And he's staring back. Well, see, back when I was at home in this environment, so everything that he based his opinions on was from his upbringing and from his environment. So then he developed this wall to where you're gonna hurt me. But a man ain't gonna tell another man you're gonna hurt me, but it's just they're gonna act a certain way. And then I've understood, like I gave this analogy to one of them. I said, you know me, I'm TK. I said, there's a guy. I said, what if I told you to go get in the car with this guy named Dexter, and if Dexter took you down a dirt road, and in the back seat, Dexter had a whole bunch of guns. Now you going down a dirt road at night with a man you don't know. What are you gonna do? Man, he gonna try to kill me. If he kill me, I'm gonna kill him. I said, the only reason you feel that way is because you haven't spent time with Dexter. You haven't developed a relationship. So if you would have spent time with Dexter and he had guns in the back seat, you going down a dirt road, then y'all finna go hunting. Because that's what Dexter loves to do. Then once the guy understood, I said the same thing is with God. Once you understand his nature, then you understand everything is not hard. Everybody's not out against you. So you don't have to act as if you're so tough. And then I began to show him that, listen, you see me now. I wrote these books, bestseller list. That don't mean nothing to me. I mean, those are great accolades and great things. It don't mean anything to me to where the most valuable thing I've heard is when someone said, "You helped me." I see
Come
it from
on.
a different point of view now. And so those books I write, that's fine. That's fine. And I thank God for it. But the fact that I'm able to help somebody and to help them see things differently, especially young people. So now he looks to me, he'll call me big bro, big bro. And I have to let him know. And I'm gonna be honest, it took me a while to get this. I love you, man. I love you. I love you. It took me because growing up in a house full of men,
You don't
A
say
lot of
that.
young boys are not taught. They
Yeah,
taught love is some type of weakness. And
yeah, yeah.
so I my dad and my uncles, and they did the best they could do it. And I respect everything they did. But we didn't walk around the house. We're talking about Q. We're talking about 5, 6, 7 men. We didn't walk around the house. Hey, I love you. Hey, listen here, I love you. No, things were performed, and you supposed to automatically assume it was love. So by the time I start hanging around guys and hey, I love you, bro. You don't even know me. How you love me? And so that mindset is on a lot of young people. You tell them, hey, I love you. Yeah, man, you don't even know me. You don't know what I'm going through. So the moment they find out that you care, genuinely care, and that's where you got to find that common ground. Because if I can find common ground, then I can bring you to where you need to be. And so it's all about showing that you care.
Man, hey, TK, man, I don't know if you saw, man, I was fanning you off, boy. Hey, you was just in there. Hey, man, give it to him. Hey,
He,
TK, hey, I
he,
went here on you, bro.
he was
I had
preaching.
to listen to Dr. Spirit. I had to listen again, man. I pulled it out like,
He
come
said that to
on,
my preach, Negro.
come on, give it to him.
Listen, man, you said a mouthful of. A matter of fact, the stuff you said, whether you realize it or not, I guess when your signal dropped out and it came back, Chip had said the same thing, and
Mm,
it's crazy because we, as kids, you know what you were called if you tell
mm.
another man you love him.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's okay. Anyway, that's a whole. Anyway, they gonna kick me off. I better not do that. So, um, but you know, and back then you wasn't. It was soft. You can't be soft.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be soft. You know, because softness was not acceptable. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, so it's like you wasn't accepted to be soft back then. You had to be hard. Everything had to be hard. So now, even like you right, man, my son, the 18-year-old, every night when he calls, whenever he calls, he used to call me all the time, but he calls every now and then. He got grown, got a car, got a job, all that good stuff. He called me. When he get off the phone, this boy is 6'3", and his voice, he talk like this. He real deep. He say, all right, Dad, I love you, Dad. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Look, I had to accept this from this deep voice on the other end of this phone. you know, but I'm used to it now. I
Yes.
love you too. I caught
Yeah.
Yeah.
myself telling my oldest boy that one day. He didn't know how to respond back. He said it, but it made him
Mm-hmm.
feel kind of funny because of society. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if y'all, let me tell y'all something. See, I done got you to mess me up now, TK. TK, you done messed up some stuff. Chip, he done messed up some stuff.
Come on,
Listen, I
give it
saw a
to him.
post. I saw a post of Smokey Norfolk. Did y'all see it? Smokey Norfolk was sitting with his son on a picture. Let me see if I can find it.
Yes. I think
And
yes.
his son was sitting in his lap, and the internet went crazy. They went, "Oh, that's just out of order. Oh, that's just." I'm like, why? He was laying down watching
Mm-hmm.
TV, and his son was just sitting there laying on his dad's shoulder. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem we have, because if our sons can't lay on our shoulder, then who do they
Mm-hmm.
lean on? You can't lean on daddy's shoulder, so they gonna go lean on the crack dealer's shoulder out there in the streets. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. What people don't understand is them gangster boys, they show love. Man, I love you, man. They dapping up, they hugging, all that stuff. They do it. Cause guess
Yeah.
what? They showing these little brothers love. That's what we not doing.
Mm-hmm.
We're afraid to do it. We won't do it. It makes us look different. Like Major Payne said, it make it feel all funny. You know what I'm saying? Because of what society says on Instagram or Facebook or
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. Why I can't my son in the house, if he sit beside me and lay on my shoulder, what I'm gonna do? Boy, get off me. That's my son.
Mm-hmm.
That's my son, man. You know, when we go, man, I sure miss it this year. But when we go to the conclave, Chip, the Brotherhood conclave,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
we got men on the van. We got men. You know Bishop Williams and them. We got men on the van. You know
Mm-hmm.
what they do when they go to sleep? If a man sitting next to them, they be gone. You know, cause we brothers. But if you got young brothers on the van and they see that, they see these grown men that love each other. The Bible talks about brotherly love.
Yes, yes.
So why can't we hug our sons? You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't finna kiss on my son. That's different. You know, I know they kiss him on the cheek and stuff, but I just ain't finna do that. I tell my son, I ain't finna kiss you, boy. I stopped kissing on my son when my son was, I think the last time I kissed my son on the cheek, he was like 8. You know, and when they babies, Chip, you know, yeah, I know when they babies, they try to kiss you on your mouth when they little old bitty things. You know, and my son used to, Daddy, Daddy, woo, woo, woo. You know, he bet I he bet I walk up to be doing that now. You know, just some things you don't do. But I said that to say this. Even when they were babies, they understood Daddy loved me. You know, but as they grow older, you show that affection in a different way. But like I say, that affection that Daddy show, them drug dealers know how to show it. Them gangsters know how to show it. You remember that movie Chip back in the day? Remember South Central?
Mm-hmm.
With Loco, with the dude named Loco, and Loco got locked up, and he was talking about Ray Ray and how the man got locked up. But when he got locked up, that drug dealer had took over this man's son, showing this boy all kind of love, like he was his son. And that's what's happening in society. The influences, you know, and I hate it, man, but it's almost like we talk about taking back the streets. How you gonna take back the streets if all, like you say, if all we saying is Bible, 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 Bible. We slap them across the head with the Bible. We bring them to Christ. But what do we do to teach them how to live regular? That's one thing I liked about Apostle James, resting in paradise. But that's one thing I liked about him. Prophet James taught us. Remember in the conclave, we hugged each other at night after the conclave was over, you know, and he talked to us. He said, you better teach these boys how to survive in these streets.
Yeah.
He said, you can preach to them at church all day long, but our young men got to know how to survive in these streets, you know, not to mistreat women, not to do, you know, we learn chivalry. We learn,
Yeah,
man,
yes.
hey, hold the door for somebody if you want to. They gonna look. Have you ever held the door for somebody recently? They look at you funny. I'm like, come on in, lady, because I'm a black male and I just held the door for this little white woman. She don't know whether to come in or not. Why? Because of the influences that our other young men have and the way they treat them. You know, and it's sad to say, but we're losing them left and right to the streets. And like you said, we can't keep automatically when we see them. You don't go to hell. You can't do that, man. You cannot do that. We can handle that when we was kids. These kids can't handle that. You don't go to hell, especially if they ain't never been to church before. Or if they used to go into grandma's church where they sing This Little Light of Mine a cappella and it sound like an Indian chant. They don't know about that. I'm just saying, Chip. Yeah, little, you know, they don't know. They look like this shirt here. Dude made this shirt. This is a good conversation piece. Cause he gonna say, hey Q, what's that? You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you open up, you know, like when Chip speak. Chip was crazy, TK. Chip can go to a school and talk Bible, and the teachers never know he talking Bible.
Come on.
They never know. They never know. He be speaking, and I'm like, going on, Chip, going on, man. Going on, man. I'm gonna get an offering plate for you, boy. Going on. I'm serious. I'm
That's
serious.
Clay.
So it's vital, man. That while we up here talking, man, I was showing the people this your I'm gonna go to
Oh yeah.
Chips too. This is your website, Chip. You watching? You
Oh
looking at
yeah.
this, Chip?
Yes, sir. Good stuff.
Yeah, he got y'all.
Oh
He
yeah.
got books, y'all. He got books, and I think that's just only that. These are last two you got, right? The
I
two new
forgot about that
releases. Yeah, he got. Oh my God, look, books.
one. I think so.
So he has poetry books. He
Yeah.
got kid.
I write children books too.
Yeah, he got children books. It's look at that. Children books, Chip. Children books. Look at that right there. Listen, man. Hey, and Chip, how many books have you written and co-wrote, Chip?
Man, I'm on number 4.
Number
Um,
4.
yeah, on number
Okay.
4,
Okay.
and it's
Chip will
been
be writing them big old long books, boy, 1,700 pages and stuff.
no, I'm on number 4, man. It's been a neat journey, and learning and growing. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. So like I say, man, it's like I'm gonna spend this last 30 minutes, 45 minutes, y'all, to talking to the people. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of TK Ware and Chip. This is TK's website. Like I said, he writes books. He's an author. A very, very extensive author. Children's books, Esquire series, poetry books, teen fiction, book of faith, innocent. He got books for married people. He got book. Yeah, he got books for married people. He got love books. He got all kind of books. You know. Uh, you know he got lots of
Book.
books. You
Hey, when
know.
you say it twice, that's for real,
that
right?
boy
For
got
real, for
that
real.
boy got books. You know. And not to mention, Mister Books, and not to mention, Chip, Dr. E says she's going to check out your children's books. Dr. E, did you see the website? The website is, let's see, where's the website? It's insightfulcp.com. Insightful CP. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the bottom, and then I'm gonna show y'all. Now, TK, what Chip does, he has a program. I covered you up. He has a program called Success Chronicles.
Okay. I
He's
like that. I
he's
like that title.
he's talked to people. You ain't gonna believe this. He's talked to people like Carl Lewis. He's done interviews with Jay Prince, the hip hop guru in Houston, Texas. He's
Okay.
talked to people like Jay Prince, my homeboy, bruh man.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, you name him, he can talk to him. And what he does is he basically talks to them and tell them about the life and get positive stories out of them. The stories, the negative stories, the not so good, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he puts it on YouTube. And I'm about to pull up pull it up right now.
Hey, TK, stories.
Yeah, he got stories, TK. Hey, hey,
I see.
yeah, stories.
Stories.
Uh, Let me see.
Oh,
Matter of fact, hey, when you go to the search bar, look, when you go to the
bam.
search bar and you see your name pop up when you type up success,
Crazy. Who is that guy?
uh,
Who is that guy?
you see that
I'm gonna go check
let me
it
show
out.
y'all the trailer.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff.
Hold up, I'm gonna start it over. Jay Prince. There it is. I know y'all
Good
can't hear
stuff.
the music because I got headphones on.
Yeah, man. It's been definitely been a cool journey.
Cause what we about to do now, we're gonna go to a commercial and we're gonna talk about while we're here, we're gonna talk about what made you all, what motivated you to take those different routes. Take as an author, as a I call it philanthropy. As a philanthropist, a person who goes out and grabs these different stories from different individuals. Look at, wait a minute, I didn't know you did one with him. Chip, you didn't tell me that, man.
Man, I'm a little something, man. Story.
Wait a minute, hold up. I gotta go back. Do you know who that is, TK? Right there. You know who that is?
Toby and Whitway.
That's what I was asking TK. That's the dude that did that song.
Give me the name, because
he did that. Try Jesus, don't try me. That dude. That's the I Got Hands dude. That dude put out a song when he put out an album. When he put out an album, he put out a video for every song he does. Yeah, that man, is a grinder.
Oh yeah.
Chip.
Yes.
I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you.
Yeah, I ran across Toby, man. That was a South by Southwest, man.
Yeah, man.
With him, man. Chopped it up with him. He, man, great guy. Connected with ET, doing some amazing things, man.
I'm telling y'all. And see, that's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all working. Y'all not just sitting back doing nothing. Y'all are working. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about work. So we're going to go to a commercial real quick. We're going to come back unless y'all tired and sleepy. But we're going to come back and we're going to talk about, you know, what made you decide to do Success Chronicles. And TK, we want to talk about what motivated you to start writing books. And y'all can just kind of go back and forth and we just have a conversation because we've talked about the black influences in the community. Now we're talking to black male influences in the community. Y'all see how I switched that up on y'all? Y'all wasn't even watching what y'all didn't see it. Y'all can't see how cute move, baby. Yeah. Well, we're going to go to these couple of commercials right here and we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, this is Quentin Samuels, aka Mr. Q. We want you to know that we want this show to keep running. So listen, if you're a follower, if you're a fan, if you're loving the show, we have a Cash App. The Cash App is $Mr. Q, MIZTAQ. If you would like to donate, you can donate $1, you can donate $2, you can donate $5, you can donate $5,000. It's all up to you. Whatever you donate, we make sure that it goes directly to our show. Also, we will put it in the pot for our cash giveaways. If you would like to donate and help us keep this show running and make it bigger and bigger and better, that we can have a platform for ourselves, $MIZTAQ. We'll see you then, and make sure that you are always plugged in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hey, we got like Mr. Chip Baker is a busy man. So what I want Chip to do real quick here is I want him to let everybody know where they can find his books that he has published, and also the Success Chronicles link. I can actually post that up. Yeah. But the Success Chronicles, y'all, you don't look. Just, you tell them about it, and I'm gonna let you know. Tell them about it. You go ahead, Chip. Kind of.
So, like he said on YouTube, like he showed you, man. Thanks so much, Q, for not only just talking about it, but just actually showing the people. Thanks so much for that, man. So on the YouTube channel, Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles. It's also a podcast as well. So you can go to whatever podcast platform you use and just search Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles, and it'll come up there. But then all of my social media is at Chip Baker TSC, as in The Success Chronicles, except for Twitter, and it's Chip Baker 19. Man, I would love for everybody to go on, check it out. And I learned a long time ago in my life that it ain't about me. And so, if you go on there and you see something that you like, I'd love for you to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all of those things that people say. But more so, if you see something that you like, please share it with someone that you love and care about, to help make their world be better. And so that's what it is. And Q, man, again, thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
Like
sir.
I said when we started, man, grew up together. Since knee high to a grasshopper.
Yes, sir.
you know, but
Bologna sandwiches and cheese, baby.
yeah, for real, for real. And so great times with our families, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say I love you. We totally hit on
Love you
that.
too, Doc. Hey, be like my son. Love you
Yeah,
too, man. You know what I'm saying?
love what you do, man. Love what you stand for. Love what you're about, and I just wish you continued success in everything that you have going on, my man. And TK, it's nice to meet you, brother. Same sentiments to you
Nice to
too.
meet you.
Yes, sir. So, y'all, Mr. Chip is going to have to bow out. But listen, don't forget to follow. Also, Chip has Go Get It apparel.
Yeah.
He didn't even talk about that. The caps, the shirts. Look at it right there. You see that right there, TK?
Oh, 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 wait,
Yeah.
oh,
Wait a minute.
wait,
Wait a minute.
oh, wait, oh, wait, what? Oh.
Oh,
You see the slow motion?
Yeah. Yeah. So if Miss Dr. E said it was an honor meeting you in Hearn, and tell Heather she said hello.
Will do. Thank you, Dr. E. Sure
Yeah.
appreciate you and your continued support.
Yes, sir. But so ladies and gentlemen, uh we gonna go to a commercial because we don't want to just see Chip just disappear in front of your face like that. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Smooth, refreshing, Finetta tea. Whether you drink from a bottle or pour it in your favorite glass, you will still enjoy the taste of fresh fruit and ingredients that will keep your body happy and healthy. Finetta tea.
So TK, we're back with TK, and TK, I wanna, cause I know you got the baby, so you probably got to get to the little one.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I want you to kind of tell people, we showed the website, and just kind of tell people, we pretty much showed them how to get your books and everything like that. Um, you have any new projects coming out, or any new publications coming out, or?
We have what I've learned through trials and tribulations. It's coming out. Let me look at the date. The end of this month. What I've learned through trials and tribulations. And we have a few special guests that have contributed. We have the Honorable Apostle Spencer Thomas has contributed a few words of encouragement, along with a host of other notable people. So be sure to check that out. Of course, we have our gear coming out as well. Keep going is not over.
I see you, boy. See, everybody got gear.
Keep going is not over. That's an encouragement book. We have the video, the trailers out there somewhere. So we just constantly try, and we'll eventually go back to doing our man up conferences. We're working on doing a virtual because of the COVID situation, so that everyone can be safe and yet the positive messages can get out. And we also are helping people publish books.
And yeah, man, I think this is great. Like I said, what you and Chip are doing, I think it's great. I think it's admirable. Man, I like it. Man, I love y'all fellas for even doing that, because like I said, a lot of guys are not really trying to go that positive way. And if they are, it's because they have a motive behind it. But like I said,
Hmm.
I've been knowing you just as long as I've been knowing Chip, and all I've seen was good things. From you standing over there by the stage, as a usher. You know what I'm saying, making sure people do right and what they supposed to do. You know,
Right.
but then knowing you as a kid growing up, so it's one of those things where, man, I just wish you the best of success, man, and Godspeed in everything that you do.
I
And
appreciate
like I
that.
said, I showed y'all the website. I'm gonna put your website up here again so they can kind of see. Somebody said something. Oh, I'm gonna show you the website where everybody can see. And I believe it was Insightful CP, right?
Yes, sir.
InsightfulCP.com. And you can get your publications there. You can get listen, y'all. Just Insightful. There it is. Boom. Right there, big letters at the bottom. I know it's gonna be that big, but it's big. So insightfulcp.com. He got children's books. He got relationship books. He got motivational books, educational books, books with poetry. I'm sure he got some books with some funny stories in it. You never know
Mm.
by TK. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you go to the website if you're looking for a good book to read. Hey, and like I said, not only is he a motivational individual in the community, he's a black-owned business. You know, and Chip Baker, black-owned business, and that's what I try to do on this platform. Didn't have any black-owned businesses tonight. I think one of them was about to come in, but he had to get some stuff together. So, anyway, TK, you got any last words, man?
Man, I appreciate the love, man. Appreciate for having me on your show. Love what you're doing, Q.
Yes, sir.
And
And
man,
Didi just said the power of deliverance was awesome sauce.
oh yes, Pastor Robert Pope is in there. Apostle Spencer Thomas is in there. I don't know who else is in there, but they in there.
And guess what? Y'all, guess who gonna be on here Wednesday night, TK?
Who?
Didi Sweat Hard Fitness. Didi
Oh,
Smith from Sweat.
that's the fitness guru. I gotta tune in.
Yeah, Didi from Sweat Hard Fitness. I think she gonna give us a little working out. Her and another young lady. We got two black female trainers on here Wednesday night, y'all. I'm gonna let them
That's
have it. I'm not gonna do none of that stuff they doing. I ain't about to do that. I got myself in trouble as Didi was my trainer for a long time, and I got myself in trouble. Kind of twisted some stuff. And I had some body parts that was sold that I didn't know I had. You know, my knees. I had my knee. I got more than one knee. I didn't know what that was down there hurting me like that. But
that's
she
that's
will.
that's the trainer there.
Man, look, and she gonna make you go. She gonna make you go. She gonna make you push. And when she say, Sweat Hard Fitness, come get some, be like, not today. Wait till tomorrow.
uh, yeah, I'll make
Yeah.
sure I tune in for that. Hey
What
Q,
you?
I remember I think Didi had posted a picture of what she was eating. And okay, at that moment, that exact moment, I had a double cheeseburger. I said, see, I had to close my phone down. I said, man, let me get back on it. Let me get back on it.
Hey,
But she's
Didi, I
committed.
know. Didi, I know. I know TK can go. Oh, she put your name on there now. Okay, I know Ken can go. She put your real name on there. Hey, you know, I already know. He swoley-oly. He ain't letting nobody know, but he
You know, I
swoley-oly.
got, I ain't been back in like I was before the accident, before I got hurt. You know,
Yeah, but
so.
he be working out. He be working out. But yeah. But hey, all I do is my arms. I don't do nothing but arms. That's it. Belly and no legs. Gonna be a big
Can't do
old dude. Hey, a big round dude with big arms.
that.
Oh Lord. But yeah, y'all, next week, but like I said, you have any last words for the people? Because I'm gonna let you get back to your baby and I'm gonna just close the show out.
Appreciate the love. Visit the website. If you have any desires or dreams to publish a book, contact me. If you know anyone who else trying to do it, contact me. If it's faith-based, contact me.
Right on.
That's it.
All right, y'all. That was Mr. TK. Well, we know him as Ken. Anyway, hey man, we glad you tuned in. I'm gonna have you come back. We're gonna have some more conversations when we have enough time. I'm gonna have you
Okay.
and Chip come back, and we probably have a bigger platform. Hopefully, I got my right stuff. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm gonna have to do something different. But God bless you, man, and I'm glad that you came in tonight, man. We love you, and you have
Love
a
you,
great
man.
night. And
You too.
ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is TK Ware, Check him out, insightfulcp.com. Grab you a book. Start reading some. Get off the news. Stop looking at the White House and the Capitol. And listen to me. Let me tell y'all something. Don't y'all go out there playing around with them people at that White House, at that Capitol. Stay at home. Stay in the house. Stay at home. Something strange in the neighborhood. Stay at home. That's what y'all do. All right, TK. I'm gonna holler at you later, Doc, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. But I'm gonna go to a commercial real quick because I don't want to see people just see you disappear.
Would you like to learn phlebotomy? Do you need to improve your current skills as a phlebotomist? Do you need to continue your education or training for a quick job? Then Elite Art of Phlebotomy Training is the place for you. We offer a 4-week training for those who want to become a certified phlebotomist. We also offer a 2-day fast track workshop for those who might already know how to draw or maybe just want a refresher course. At Elite Art of Phlebotomy, the goal is to provide both excellent phlebotomy training and patient care to all students to build their confidence in professional skills that is much needed in the healthcare field. Students will gain valuable experience in drawing blood as well as understanding the concept of blood collections. Our primary goal is to help students become skilled and exceptional with their art. We also provide CPR training for adults and children. So if you're interested in becoming a certified phlebotomist, call us now at 346-255-2192. That's 346-255-2192. Classes begin the first Tuesday of every month in Houston, Texas, and the first Saturday of every month in Bryan, Texas. Payment plans are available, and we also follow CDC guidelines. So contact Elite Art of Phlebotomy Training today, where phlebotomy is more than a skill, it's an art.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are back, and I want to let y'all know I'm glad that you all were able to come to the show tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the candid conversation about black men, black male influences in the community, because it's something that's really needed to talk about. We're glad that you tuned into the show. Listen, I want y'all to remember that we do have a Cash App. We do have a Cash App. As you see, I might need it because my screen is glitching for some reason. But we do have a Cash App. If you would like to donate, if you would like to help out, we do giveaways. Matter of fact, next month, Valentine's Day, we will be giving away a huge Valentine's Day package to a lovely couple. It's going to have flowers. It's going to have a spa. It's going to have rose. I said flowers. Dinner for two. We're going to do all of that. And also, don't forget Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here. These two young ladies will be joining the show with me. That's Dee Dee Smith and Miss Natasha Garrett Miles. They will be in here to get your workout on, ladies and gentlemen. They will be here to help you lose some of those pounds and tell you what you need to do and tell you what you're eating wrong and tell you what you don't need to be eating and tell you how to eat it and tell you how much to eat. They're going to be telling you all of those things on Wednesday night. So I think Dee Dee might even give us a little bit of workout, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you tune in right here on Mr. Q's Plugged In, and make sure that you continue to stay plugged in. Peace out.
You are tuned in to Mr. Q Show. Get plugged in, yeah. You are tuned in to Mr. Q Show. Get plugged in, yeah.
It's time to relax from all the hype and grab a cup of the favorite tea that you like. On Mondays and Wednesday nights, don't forget about the Black Business Spotlight. You never know who you might see. It could be anybody, even a celebrity. So enjoy yourself, my friends, cause this is Mr. Q Show. Now get plugged in. Yeah.
You are tuned in.
That's right.
To Mr. Q Show. Get plugged in. You are tuned in Q Show. Get plugged in, yeah. You are tuned in to Mr. Q Show.